Hey guys, welcome back to the LUCI Show. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today, I want to get started by this article I saw yesterday from CNBC because this is what you are going to regret at 80 years old, says Jeff Bezos. And I thought it would be something about investing just because it's like finance, Jeff Bezos, money, but it turned out to be completely different. So I'm just going to sum it up. You can go read it. It's under my likes on Twitter if you like. My Twitter handle is just Living with Lucy. This is my second channel. However, if you have not checked out the main channel, link down below. Not after you destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm, of course, and make sure you're subscribed to both of my channels and ring that notification bell to know whenever these live streams begin. Hey there, Hector the Dude. So, long story short, I always knew that Jeff Bezos and his wife, pretty much, well, ex-wife, sorry, worked on Amazon together. And that in the beginning, it's like this bookstore. I think she was very into books. And then his idea was to create this online bookstore in like the early 20th, oh, sorry, late 20th century, not early 20th century. So, yeah, that's like pretty much all I knew about him. I thought that he was just like maybe someone who worked a regular 9 to 5 job, accounting or something. I don't know. I just like was making stuff up in my head. Do your own DD, entertainment purposes only. Never financial advice on my channel. So I always just thought that he's like this average dude and then ended up scoring really big when he created Amazon. But I didn't know that he actually worked on Wall Street. So in this article, at least, it says that he had a good job. He was working on Wall Street, and then one day, I guess, or probably after a while of thinking about this business idea, he went and told his boss and was like, "Okay, I'm thinking about maybe possibly quitting this job on Wall Street and then pursuing his goals of creating this business using the internet," which back then was still a big deal and a lot of people didn't even know what it was. Um, Pursue his goals of creating this internet business where you sell books. And then I think his boss at the time in this article wasn't like, "Yeah, go for it." But he also wasn't discouraging him, like, "You should walk away from it." He was just like, "Well, that's great for somebody, that doesn't have a good job. It's definitely a little bit harder for someone who already has a good job, right? Because if you already have a good job, you're walking away from a good job to like pursue this dream." But good thing that he ended up pursuing it. And obviously, we all know Amazon turned out good. But pretty much his advice for people is to kind of just go for it, I guess. I think he, like, overall from this article, he says that, well, I guess when he was doing the interview, this is just like a summary of this article, is that he goes out and tells people to just chase after your dreams because if you didn't even try, then it's worse to like look back when you're 80 years old or just much older in life and wonder, man, I wish I did that, or I wish I tried that. And I honestly hear about this from a lot of older folks that do tell me the same thing, just kind of like them regretting stuff that they didn't do when they were young. So definitely I feel like this is probably one of the most common advice I hear from older folks. Just do things, chase for goals, dreams, but then also even just like travel. I'll never forget when I worked. I think I told you guys this before, when I worked at a bar, and this older gentleman way past his 60s, 70s was telling me how he worked all his life just saving up money, and he has a family and everything, but he felt like he really should have just traveled more, but he kept staying like near his workplace, just constantly trying to make more money. And then he just kept thinking about making more and more money, like this number, and then never ended up traveling as many places as he wanted to in the world. And then I was like, "Well, you could just still travel now. Like, you don't have to be at the bar." And he said that it's different now because of health issues. Like, it's not as easy when you're older to just travel, and it depends on your health circumstances, right? Because we all, I think most of us that are healthy would like easily, it's very easy when you're young and healthy to take like take for granted, I think, your good health. I definitely did when I was young. Just like take for granted my good eyesight at the time. And then I had to end up getting LASIK and all that. But it's really easy to like think you have this like youthful energy forever. And it's clearly not true as I'm aging and I'm feeling like the energy drained out of me like every other year. So I definitely feel it more. What these people have been telling me, or what that guy at the bar was saying, how when you're like over 60, you just don't really feel like you have the energy anymore. I hope that when I'm 60, I take good care of myself and, I'll still have good enough energy to travel the world if I wanted to, or worst case scenario, go on a cruise. Cause to me, like, I feel like when I'm younger, I would like to go out and travel and do more like Airbnbs, buy my own plane ticket, just chill around, Google wherever I want to go and just make it very like nonchalant. But then if I older and I just don't want to really plan things, or maybe I just want to be safer, I want to be in like small space, I mean a space where like there's guided tours and stuff like that, maybe I'll just do like a cruise where you're just kind of on a boat the whole time and then you don't have to plan for much and just have unlimited drinks preferably. Alan says, I hope I make it to 60. Oh my gosh. I think you guys all will make it to 60. I hope. Well, the average lifespan now is like what, near 100 years, but I don't really know anybody who's ever lived to 100 years. I don't think I've ever met anybody who told me they were 100 years old. I keep hearing from like friends of friends, like, oh, somebody's grandma is like 102 or whatever. And I'm like, good for them. My grandparents did not live that long. Um, so yeah, I feel like the longest human being records are probably like Asia, Japan, or like people who live on like rural lands and stuff like that on the farm. At least that's what I hear. And some people can live to like 110, 120, no problem. But people, city folks that I know, most people are lucky to live to like, I don't know, 98. But generally, I think people are living till they are older now, right? Like we're not dying at 30 something. Well, most people aren't dying at 30 something. I had a great uncle that made it to 99, Ellen says. Nice. Oh my god, just one more year to 100. I hope it wait, you're super young, Scott says. I know I just look young. I'm not actually young though. But I still get carded. I really shouldn't though. I'm way above the getting carded age. A lot of people pass on like in their 60s and 70s now. Oh man. And I don't know. I'm just feeling, so you guys know about the Justin Bieber thing, right? Okay, I've talked to you guys about the Justin Bieber, his Ramsay Hunt syndrome. My God, I can't believe I actually memorized that. I'm usually really bad with like medical terms. Um, so you guys know, like lately, the whole Justin Bieber canceling his tour is like a huge deal because like half of his face is pretty much like not moving anymore. Um, and then like I was on YouTube and Haley Bieber, which is his wife, who's like I think she's 25 years old so far, so very young. Um I saw this video from her and it was actually dated, I want to say March or April of this year. So basically this year she had a mini stroke. Like what is happening to people now? I didn't know about this, but it's like it's just very like thinking about everything, it's like very unfortunate for this couple, Justin Bieber and Haley Bieber, because well, Haley, I guess earlier this year, she was explaining like her stroke. You can go on it. She has a YouTube account. So she's like after the fact, obviously after she got better, she explained like all the medical terms, like this mini stroke. I didn't even know that apparently like when well that this is what she says. Again, my channel's for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. But in her video, I heard her say that everybody, when you're born, there is like, I guess, a little hole in our heart where the two like flap area is, like where it closes, the left and the right like sides. Like when it closes, there's like a little hole. And then it's supposed to normally close up, right? You're not supposed to have a hole in your heart. But there are people with like tiny little holes in their heart. And she went to, I guess she did two checkups after having the mini stroke. And then the first checkup, there wasn't really like any holes that they found. And then I think she went to like a UCLA like doctor or something like that. And then ended up they found a hole. But prior to them finding the hole in her heart, they were pretty much saying like, okay, maybe it's possibly like you were on flights, like she goes on flights a lot or something, recently, right before the stroke. And then they said also, like you recently had COVID. So I guess at the time, right before the stroke, she also recently had COVID and she was taking birth control pills. So those are like were all possibilities, but then it turned out that it's because she had a tiny hole in her heart, which ended up having like a blood clot, like a mini one that ended up going like out of her heart, escaping out of her heart into the brain, which is just crazy. But still wild to think like somebody at the age of 25 could have a mini stroke. Like, I don't even think I would know if I have a stroke, but and I've never seen anyone in it, thank God. I don't even know how to react. But apparently, I guess she was saying how like her arm, I forget which arm, her arm just like started to feel numb, and then like one side of her face, or like maybe her whole face, I forget which it is, started to droop. And then like Justin was with her and then asked her like a question, like, "Are you okay?" And then she couldn't even like make the words out. So it's just like so insane that this is happening to people. I don't know if it's just like unfortunate that those two are happen to be young, happen to be in the media spotlight. So we're like hearing about it, or maybe there's more stories out there and people just don't get their stories out. But it's weird. It's a very weird time. I don't know. Again, do your own DD. I'm not saying that it's the vaccines or COVID possibly, but the fact that in the last 2 years we had COVID, a bunch of people get COVID, slash, a bunch of people get a bunch of different types of doses of vaccinations, depending on what country you're in. I just like to think that it could have a possibility. If I had to say what went wrong in the last 2 years, I think those were two very crazy things that were change altering to our health. Because whatever happened to Justin Bieber, we know that it was a virus that stayed dormant, right? Like it was from the chicken pox or possibly shingles, that it was virus that stayed dormant and then it came back. So then it's like, okay, what triggered it to come back? We need to live a long, David says, so we can see Bitcoin reaching 1 million. You mean we need to live for a while to see Bitcoin reaching 1 million? I don't know if I'm going to live to the day that I see Bitcoin reaching a million, but it sure the heck is not looking too good right now. I say 21 to 22 at most, honestly, Scott says. Wait, what? I think the average lifespan is around like the 70s, Scott Mula says. Like people live to around 70s. Honestly, I feel like I'd be lucky to live to like 70 something, considering most people I know don't make it past like 99, you know? Can't wait for Bitcoin to hit 20K. Gonna throw in a grand or two, F YouTube says. Man, imagine what would happen. I just, it's like I keep seeing people post like past Bitcoin rallies, like past old all-time lows in comparison to the all-time high, and they're like, this is normal. It usually drops 80-90% anyway, so it's gonna make a comeback. uh this usual thing, this pattern, I hope it's true. But there is also this giant piece of me that's like, okay, well, we all know eventually patterns bust, right? You, everyone's like, oh, everything's going to be fine. Market's going to continue to go up. And then, bam, eventually we'll go bust. And people can keep buying puts right now, buying puts on Tesla, buying puts on Apple, on everything, S&P 500. And eventually those puts will also go bust when the market moves back up. So it just comes and goes. You never know when patterns are going to break or when things are going to come to an end. I hope that this theory that Bitcoin can at most drop like 80-ish percent, 90% at best will last. So we'll be okay. But right now, yeah, it's a little crazy. Earlier, CoinMarketCap had a glitch and it showed me that the overall global crypto market cap was at like 900 or 800,000, I think. And I was like, whoa, I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look at anything at that price. But luckily then I looked on my phone and then I saw that it was just a glitch because it was still at like 1.04 trillion at the lowest. I don't think we went down to 1.02 trillion, but if we do during this live stream, y'all let me know. Um, number 6, hey there, Lucian fam. Thank you, Ken Bussy, for joining. Yes, all of you guys, smash that like button. We need as many people in here as there are likes, guys. Come on, smash that like button, pump it like your crypto is dumping right now. Do the opposite. A lot of people pass on like their success. Awesome. That's great. After the dude says, I had a great uncle. I think average life. Okay, wait, hold on. Just reading. I just got an FTX advertisement with Stephen Curry. He has his own referral link, Haruhi says. Nice. Okay. I see all the companies are pulling out all the stops right now, pulling out all the stops to get the people getting in, becoming customers because it's clearly riding down right now. In other, oh, right. Sorry. I'm just going to say what's in my title. Then I just go off saying random stuff because I always feel like I go off saying random things and then I like end my stream having to change my title because I forget to say what I was supposed to talk about. So I'm doing this Marvel marathon for those of you guys that are seriously like freaking out with your crypto portfolios. I just I look, I do what needs to be done, and then I stop. I just don't think about it anymore. I mean, I know I do these live streams and we have to talk about it, but it feels really, really good to just shut down. I like once I'm done doing these live streams, I pretty much just pretend like crypto doesn't exist. I'll have my time of the day where I'll like scroll through news and look at what's going on Twitter, but I have like my peace and quiet when I'm watching movies, especially superhero movies. So I'm doing a Marvel marathon. I've watched, like I told you guys, like Thor, Iron Man, Avengers in the past. I've pretty much seen every single movie, but at like very different times, and definitely not in like a proper marathon. And I'm still not doing like a proper marathon, but I did watch all of Iron Man, so I did that in one shot, all three movies. Yes, even the second one with Elon Musk. And then I started to watch Thor, the first one. So I watched the first movie for out of Thor's trilogy yesterday, and then after that I ended up watching the Avengers first movie because I think that's how it works, right? You're supposed to watch the first Iron Man, the second Iron Man, and then the first Thor movie. Probably the first Captain America, but I don't really like Captain America that much. I like Thor and Iron Man way more. So I didn't watch Captain America, but then I watched Avengers. It's really good when you like watch it all together because there's so many like little pieces that I realized I didn't notice when I was watching them like at very, very separate times. So it's cool to see everything like tie in together and these little, and then there's like so many little like mini cameos in a sense. Like I didn't know that the Captain America shield was used at one point. I think in the I want to say the second Iron Man movie at one point. When the sun sets every evening, Superman moves all his Bitcoin investments into a regular mutual fund. He tries to protect himself from kryptonite. Oh my god, I love it. That's awesome, Ken. Celsius getting prepped to rug pull, Stevo says. I don't trust the jab. My mom's a pharmacist. She even thinks there is not enough research, Alan says. Yeah, I mean, all I'm going to say is it really sucks that we only have so much information unless you are yourself a researcher, a scientist, a doctor. And I'm definitely like, I've spoken to a few people in the medical field, and it's hilarious that a lot of people in the field just question everything. But it's good. It's good to see that people are questioning things around them versus not. And again, I am no doctor, no scientist. So everything I say is not health advice. Go and find yourself a professional if you have anything that requires health checkups or any serious medical help at the hospital. Okay, so runner becomes a third human to win 22-mile man versus horse race in 42 years, guys. This is on BBC News. I was like, WTF? Who thinks up of this stuff? I didn't even know this was a thing that a human would ever run against a horse. I mean, I don't think running against cheetahs is a thing, but I don't think any humans can beat out a cheetah. But apparently, we tried with horses. So it says here, could you outrun a horse? Well, one man has managed to, and he's only the third human to ever win the 22.5 mile, which is 36-kilometer man versus horse race. Ricky Lightfoot. Ricky Lightfoot. I don't know if he got the last name because he beat a horse or maybe he always had this name, but that is a really sweet last name. Lightfoot. Received 3,500 pounds, I want to say. I think that's pounds. 4,003 4 sorry, $4,300 after quit quite comfortably beating the first horse by more than 2 minutes. Wow. The competition held in Wales has been going since 1980. My God, I've never heard of this. Again, I live in a bubble. There's a lot of things I don't think I've ever heard of. Terrible news on CBS News today, 2 days ago, sorry, that two 13-year-old dead after being pulled from water in Queens, New York. A swim ended tragically in Queens, New York Friday after two 13-year-old boys were found dead in water where signs warn of strong currents. I would never dare. I would never dare to go into the water if like nobody else is in the water. And then, especially if there were signs. I don't know if they saw the signs. Again, you're gonna have to read into it yourself. It's on CBS News, but that is very sad. Um, to to drown in water because of high currents. I definitely do not recommend staying in any pool of water that not many other people are in. I'm like a total chicken. So I would only really go into water when I see other people in there. And then definitely even like I think in Mexico when they tell you to like get out of the water, like you should get out of the water in like about 20 minutes, I'll usually just, GTFO because I'm a really big chicken. And then also when I learned that there's so many creatures in the water and that like I didn't know when I was a kid that I could be stung by a jellyfish. I've never been stung by a jellyfish, but I've been on those tourist whatever trips where I heard that people on my trip got stung by jellyfish. And I was like, not gonna go into the water after I heard that. Where does an Eskimo keep his Bitcoin in a cold wallet? Sorry, guys. No, it's great. Keep going. Sup, Lucy. Hey there, Los Angeles graffiti. I hope you guys are having a good night. Anybody? And wait, some people are saying it's vaccine side effects. If YouTube says, are you talking about like Justin Bieber and Haley Bieber situation, like vaccine side effects? Well, obviously, like if you look at Haley Bieber's video, the one that I did, like of herself explaining what happened with like her heart having the hole, she doesn't say it's vaccinations at all. She mentioned before knowing that there was like a hole in her heart that it could have been birth control pills, it could have been recently catching COVID, and then it could have been also the flights. Like she was on like flights recently or something. Who knows? But I don't think most celebrities or most people just like come out saying, I think it was the vaccinations. Especially, just with how our politics are. And usually when you say something that's not allowed on most platforms, you either get canceled or you're questioned heavily. So I think a lot of like celebrities, in my opinion, don't dare to say certain things that involve facts. How can Bitcoin Cash be the real Bitcoin if it's not if it's a fork? What? Just in Bay for reals. Public pools have chlorine, but I wouldn't trust it to be clean either. Yeah. I do not know a single soul who has played like never have I ever and said they didn't pee in a pool. So I'm gonna say those public pools are pretty disgusting. I can't swim for the Pacific Oceans knocked me off rocks in San Diego. Oh my God. I'll stay on the ground and away from heights. How do you get knocked off rocks in San Diego? I've never been knocked off rocks. I've always like, have you guys ever watched? Have you ever? Okay, I don't think most of you have watched it, but New Moon, Twilight Saga, when Bella like jumps from the cliff into the water. I always wanted to do that one day. I've never done like, is that called cliff diving? Cliff diving, I think. I've never done cliff diving like into the water from like a very high point. I don't think I could actually if it's too high. I would just be like afraid of like knocking myself out if my face or my head lands into the water first. But yeah, I want to do it maybe like at a like a lower level. But it always just seems like something really fun to do. But I would not dare to do it if there was like any chance, in my opinion, like if the cliff looks like this, I would do it. Like me standing at the tip of like my middle finger, jumping down because there's no rocks like below me. You know how like some cliff jumps, I see people like jump and it's like they're jumping, but there's like these jagged areas of the cliff out that way, I would never do it. I don't know how anyone dares to do that because you just jump wrong, you'll just like hit that. If you don't jump far enough, you could still like scrape yourself, hurt yourself. Just not down to do it. So if it looks like this, I might consider jumping. Not too high, but yeah, that's one of my things that I always wanted to do. And then also, what is that thing? Oh, skydiving. I want to do skydiving, but I think now I'm a little bit scared to do skydiving just because whenever I hear like more and more accidents, helicopters, and just I think somebody died recently. I heard somebody tell me, I don't know where this took place, but it was like I think it was parasailing. I don't know if you guys heard that, but someone died like parasailing, where I've done that, but you're supposed to be pulled like with a boat, right? Like a boat is supposed to pull you. You're on your like parachute thing and you're sitting, and then there's like a string, a thick string, like holding you on, like tied to the boat, and the boat's moving. That's how you're in the air. I heard that there was this case recently that the guy who was like driving the boat ended up cutting the rope because supposedly like the winds were insane, and then he had to cut the rope, and then it ended up I think he was going near a bridge or something. And he was like losing control. So he ended up cutting the rope, but then ended up killing the people or killing one of the people like that was parasailing. And I think the other person was badly injured. Again, I forgot like where and when the story was, but definitely heard that recently. So now I'm afraid of things that I used to do. Didn't expect the tide to come in so quick. I was dumb kid. LOL. Alan says, "Oh no, how can Bitcoin Cash be?" Oh wait, who said Bitcoin Cash is a real Bitcoin? Whoever said that, join this year. MD says. um, yeah, there's only one Bitcoin. But Bitcoin Cash was forked from Bitcoin. That's what I heard. Thor 4 is coming soon, Cool Dude says. Yes, I'm so excited because I love Natalie Portman and she's in the Thor trilogy. I don't think she didn't really, no, I saw Avengers 1 yesterday, so she didn't have much scenes. She didn't have any scenes in Avengers 1, which is kind of disappointing because she's great. But they did show that Shield was trying to tell Thor that like she's safe and all. So I'm very excited to see her have more parts. I saw her like all muscular and stuff like that in the trailer, and she has like a Thor looking outfit. So I'm very, very excited to see that. So that's why I'm doing like when I'm done with you guys, I'm gonna go watch the second Thor, which I can't remember what it's about at all. I think Natalie Portman was like got taken or something. I forgot. It's been so long. And then the third Thor is Thor Ragnarok, which I like actually remember the storyline because Hulk was in it. But definitely need to see the second one. If you can't remember the storyline anymore, it might be a good time to rewatch. It's weird because I think with like books, I'll read it and then like I'll know how it ends, maybe not be able to tell you like every single detail of the story. But with movies, I think I just like watch so many movies and different TV shows that I end up not even being able to remember like the gist of the story anymore. Or out of all these Marvel movies, like I can't remember at all right now. It's coming blank to me. What the heck the second Thor is about. I'm just thinking I think Natalie Portman was taken, but maybe I'm mistaking that for like another movie. Crypto trader, show your portfolio. So I'm choosing not to because yeah. Made a new decision to not show my portfolio until I want to show my portfolio. So you guys are just going to have to guess what it looks like because I may or may not have done something. That's how boring it was. Not memorable. Slain 2035 says, no, I don't think it was boring or not memorable. I just can't. I think I just mix up too many movies. Like, I don't think, did the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, I think that's his name, right? The Hulk that's in Avengers. Does he have his own movie? Because I don't think I've ever watched his own movie. But I feel like if he did have his own movie, it would have only been one movie, right? Because I don't really hear people like raving about Hulk trilogies or whatever. So I think there's either none by Mark Ruffalo or one. Can anyone like verify this? Parasailing is fun in Hawaii, Hector the Dude says. Nice. I've never gone parasailing in Hawaii, but I did swim with the dolphins, and that was super memorable. They're so cute. Wait, hold on. Okay, caught up. Hi there. Lady Thor Slaying 2035 says. So she turns into Lady Thor. It's okay. I'll just go into the theater not knowing anything and I'll be like, surprise me. That's what I usually do. No, that was Ed Norton, Ken says. Oh, okay. So there is no Mark Ruffalo Thor movie then. That's lame. I wish he had his own. He's such a good actor. But it was an MCU movie. Yeah. Okay. So all right. I didn't miss out on any Mark Ruffalo Hulk movies because there is none then. That's cool. I'm fine with that. That means I still have seen pretty much every single Marvel movie because I've seen all the Captain Americas. I think there's 2. Yeah. Lucy, watch anime called Weathering with You, directed by Mikado Shinkai. I think I saw that, Sakiyazen. I think I saw that in theater. Is it the one with the girl? And she hold on. It's the one with a girl and then she at one point was in like this motel room or like a hotel room with a boy. And then it's like there was these little red, I don't know what those are called. Like they're in Japan, obviously. And then there's like these red little, I don't know what to call them. But I think you make wishes when you walk across them, or you like hope for stuff when you walk within like that red. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Okay, I have seen it. I have seen it. Again, that was like the worst. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about because sometimes when I explain things, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't think anybody understands me. There we go. Yeah. Number 3, Captain America movies. What? There's been 3 Captain America movies? Hold on. They gave him 3 movies? Okay, wait, hold on. Captain America. I guess I don't know. I just don't really like Captain America. Is that like very bad of me? Am I a bad American? Hold on. Captain America. Oh my God, you're right. There's Captain America 2011, which is right before Avengers came out, of course. And then there's Captain America 2014. And then there's Civil War, Captain America. Oh my God. Thor. I mean, what's it called? Iron Man. Stark is in here. 2016. I don't think I saw Civil War then. Or maybe I did. No. I'm pretty sure I've seen everything. I think I've seen it all. Is Civil War okay, no. I know I've seen it because I know there was this like one movie where Tony Stark really like digs up the past and his father's past and stuff. And then like Captain America was heavily involved, so that was probably that 2016 one. Yes. The one in the middle I know is him and his like ex best friend guy. So, okay, I've seen all the Captain Americas, but again, not one of my favorites. So, I don't maybe I'll rewatch the 2016 one again because Tony Stark's in it. Just don't really like Captain America's movies. Thor was really good though. Rewatching the first Thor was honestly great. Highly recommend. And rewatching all the Iron Man ones. I think Iron Man will forever be my favorite. Like Marvel movie separate, just like Avenger on their own. And then Thor is probably like my second favorite. And then I'm gonna say the Guardians of the Galaxies are amazing. If you like that movie, some director will have a new movie in November called Suzume no Tojimari. No idea what that means, but yes, I'll consider watching it. There's still like so much. I'm such a loser for not watching Princess Monoko. I think that's what it's called. That's like the movie I really, really want to see and still have not brought myself to watch it yet. But I think the best, like I'm clearly trying to entertain and distract myself at the same time by watching all these superhero movies. So I don't have to think about my portfolio and stuff. But yeah, I think Marvel movies do a great job at that. I don't think about anything else when I'm watching superhero movies. I just get heavily invested. And yeah, thinking about gods from another world definitely takes your mind off of it. I didn't know that. So my ESO was telling me because I just kept thinking like everything's Greek gods because I don't know. I just kept thinking that everything's like Greek, Roman gods. Like, I didn't know that there's Norse. I think that's what it's called, like Norway mythology, which is like Norse mythology, I think is what he told me it's called. And that's where Thor is from, and like Bifrost and like the cold giants and stuff. Because when I rewatched Thor 1 yesterday, I was like, oh, these like big, frosty, cold giants. That reminds me of Game of Thrones. And I thought that Game of Thrones like came up with that concept. And I was like, never mind. This seems like, I guess it goes way, way back to these Norway mythologies. So I guess Thor is actually Norse mythology. I just kept thinking that everything's like Greek or Roman, whatever. Stargate with Kurt Russell was pretty good, Alan. They never made more movies, just a series. Yep, Son of Odin. Yeah, apparently there's some video game I'm supposed to play. I forgot what he told me to play, but there's some video game I'm supposed to play, and then it's like it'll show you the different battles, like the battles of like the Norse mythology, and then there's like the Roman mythology stuff. I know that there's like Egyptian mythology, which is different, right? Like Isis and stuff like that. That's completely different from like the timeline of Thor, and it's just like different worlds. But yeah, it's just crazy. So much. Thor, Hulk, female version, like WTF Marvel, MD says. Well, I don't really know like what started first, you know, like I don't know if well, obviously the Norse mythology started first. And then I guess Marvel comics. I don't know. Can you guys tell me? Anybody who's like a comic geek? The Stan Lee uh the Stan Lee Marvel comics prior to Stan Lee, right? Like so prior to Spider-Man creation, or I mean prior to Spider-Man from Stan Lee, Iron Man, Thor, did these comics exist? Or did he actually like create these characters? Well, I know he didn't create Thor because Thor is mythology from Norway, right? So obviously Stan Lee did not create Thor. He just took a character that existed and then put it into the Marvel universe. But do you are there comics that are just like created by Stan Lee? Like did he ever just create a superhero that just never existed? Like is Spider-Man actually just full out created by him? And then also Iron Man, and then Superman. First superhero was Superman. Okay, but Superman is not part of Marvel, so I know Stanley has nothing to do with that. Superman is DC Comics. So does that mean like DC created Superman in a sense? Like the first Superman ever was created by a company called DC? Or was it created by like a person and then DC Comics just bought it out? Like there's so confusing. Okay, was anyone ever into Hyphronics amps, car stereos? Those amps were names after Greek gods: Thor, Odin, Pegasus, Zeus, etc. What isn't Pegasus like? I thought Pegasus is Pegasus a god? I thought Pegasus was that thing. I only heard about Pegasus from like Sailor Moon. It's like a horse, a white horse with like wings, and it's like a unicorn. Is that not what a Pegasus is? That's what Pegasus looks like in Sailor Moon. So I always thought that that was Pegasus. Uh Ken Buzzy says Stan Lee, yes, Spider-Man and Iron Man. FF4. Okay, so cool. We've confirmed, according to Ken Buzzy, the Do Your Own DT, that Stan Lee created Spider-Man and Iron Man. Okay, awesome, because those are pretty cool. That means he obviously didn't make up Thor, but he at least added Thor to the universe, which is interesting. Interesting how people make these wild decisions. Superman DC Comics by Jerry Segal and Joe Shuster. Okay, so like literally these two human beings, Jerry and Joe, actually created Superman then? Like there was no I thought that maybe Superman would be like maybe created by like a person, and then maybe the idea got popular and maybe the rights were bought out. But guess not. DC Comics used to only make detective pulp comics. Morning, Bardistas. Wait, hold on. But that's really cool, Henry. I do not know what Hyphonics amps are, but interesting choice for them to name it after Greek gods. Chochinchili says Eric Bana was in the first Hulk movie, then Edward Norton in the second. But do reaction videos, seriously. So the thing, chill, like, I forgot to tell you on the main channel today. Thanks for coming. The thing with like these reaction videos is I'm very like worried about them because I know people who've told me that they've done reaction videos to like TV shows or whatever, and they'll just do like a clip of like a show, but not even the whole show, and it'll be like, you know how I'm doing this video right now, you could have like a little screen right here, and then it could play the TV show, and I could be like doing reactions, and you're not even playing the whole thing, right? You pause it, you talk, and then you play again or whatever. So it's not like you're just copywriting and playing the thing. And then this person ended up getting strikes from YouTube. So I'm like, I just don't want to get strikes from YouTube. So it's like hard for me to do reaction. But I'll try. I think if I do reaction, I'll maybe like save it for like a future Blackpink music video or something. Like I'll do a Blackpink music video reaction and try to make it so that it's really not copyrighted. Like, because technically, like whenever you change things, like if you change, like if I just play like a Blackpink music video, that's copyright. But if I'm like altering it and I'm here talking, it's technically different, but sometimes people still find a way to strike your butt. Jerry Dad was Clark Kent, but died by a gunshot. That's why Superman cannot be killed by bullets. Oh my God, that's so sad. What? So the person who created Spider-Man's dad's name was actually Clark Kent, or similar to Clark Kent, like a writer. But that's really sad. But I'm happy that this person was able to create like a forever living, amazing, iconic piece of art that gives people hope. Losers like me that ends up watching it over and over again. Superhero movies. Oh, that's both sweet and sad at the same time. It's like subtly nice that he wants to just like forever have his dad be in like art. I think that's like a way to live forever. What is that saying? That you can live on forever when you create something like art that could live on forever, something that never dies. Anyways, almost all superheroes had their parents killed, especially fathers, both DC and Marvel. No Father's Day for them. Okay, well, Batman had it the worst. Batman lost both his mom and dad on the same night. I think whoever created Batman was pretty down. Celsius is the blame of crypto crash today. After Superman debut, Bob Kane and Bill Finger created Batman. Okay, so Superman came after Batman. I saw something, what's it called, on an Andre Jack video recently, and I was like mind blown. So Wolverine, the Wolverine guy, if you look up, I guess, the face of Wolverine, it looks like two Batmans kissing each other, like two sides of like two Batmans turning to kiss each other. And then once you see that, it can't be unseen. So you could go check it out. I forget which video it was from Andre Jack, but it was like one of his finance videos that he randomly brought that up. And then I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't see it. Because Wolverine is like black and yellow. Like this, his outfit's black and yellow, but if you look at his face where he's wearing his mask, like goes like this, right? It just actually looks like two Batman kissing each other. Okay, now I have to show you guys because I feel like you don't really know what I'm talking about. Wolverine. Can I put like comic or something? Or will it just show me Wolverine images? So there we go. That's a pretty, so here, like that. Or maybe, do you see that? It's technically like, okay, no, I need a closer one. This one. Okay, his mouth is like opened extremely big in some of these, so it's harder to see, but hold on. Ah, there. So if you look at it, that's Wolverine. But if I cut this in half, it just looks like two Batman's faces, right? Wow, Dogecoin is 5 cents and Lucy is holding strong. Don't talk to me, Luke. Don't talk to me. I'm in my Marvel universe right now. Nothing bad happens in the Marvel universe, okay? It's because I've watched it all, so there's really no surprises anymore. They say Harry Potter might be the new Wolverine. Hope just a rumor. Oh my god, Henry! What does his height have to do with being a Wolverine? I don't even know if Wolverine's supposed to be tall or short. But I think height, honestly, if they made like a Batman that's not, I don't even know how tall Christian Bale is. I don't know, 5'11", 6 feet higher. But even if like they make a Batman that's like 5'8", I don't think I would notice, or like 5'6". I don't think I would really care because it's like they have so much CGI going on and like the outfits and stuff like that. Um, Henry's like 5 feet isn't intimidating. Okay, fine. But there's, CGI and stuff. I still would not, I think like honestly, if you think of life in like superhero terms, does it really matter if would you not want to turn yourself to 5 feet if you could, but then gain all of Iron Man's powers or Batman's powers, Superman? I would turn myself into a physical look that I don't really want. Maybe like I want to lose weight right now, so I'm trying to get to like 119 pounds, but I will take 149 pounds if it meant that I could have the powers of, let me think about it, Scarlet Witch. It's a good trade off. We can get Batman and Iron Man's powers. It's called educations. No, it's called money. That's what it is. Batman and Iron Man are literally like, when I look at them, I'm just like, that's nice. Nice to be rich, man. To manipulate crypto and stocks, Bardistas. Wait, what? I saw a doc on Hulu that Bob Kane screwed Bill Finger out of credit, Chilton says, for creating Batman. So Bob got the fame and fortune and Bill died poor. What? I don't know about that, but if it's on a Hulu documentary, maybe. Again, guys, do your own DD. But that's sad if it's true. Yeah, Bob Kane screwed him so bad, Slane 2035 says. That's a thing with like, I'm assuming they're not friends. I mean, I'm assuming they're not related, right? And even if they are related, like the one thing I've seen so much like on the news and then also just like from stories that I've heard from experienced older people, everyone always tells me like don't mix business with friendship. Don't mix business with like family if you can help it. Like unless you absolutely need to, don't do it simply because it most of the time doesn't work out. Like I've seen family businesses work so far, but there's like more that I've heard of where it just like doesn't work out, nasty divorces, causing the business to split and like having lots of issues. Um, and in terms of friendship, it's just hard because I think we'd all like to think like, oh, like that's my best friend, like we can like make it together. But when you like involve anything with money, it's just like things get messy, things could get dirty. And sometimes I feel like it could be a lot of like miscommunication, misunderstanding, and like even two friends that are trying to both not undermine each other in a business. Sometimes one or friends of that one party can start saying things like, oh, maybe that person, like she's not doing enough work, or he's not putting enough in, maybe they're gypping you on the side. It's just like there's always going to be tension exterior, and then also it could like manipulate you into thinking that other person's cheating you or screwing you over, and then you're just going to have like way too much anxiety, and then it'll slowly trickle down, and eventually, if especially if you even see one thing that could cause you to blame the other person, it's just going to be like a snowball effect. And I'd rather just never deal with that. So, highly do not recommend mixing money with friendship if you don't need to. Because I think the best of friendships is when people like actually care about you and your well being and wish you well without mixing in money and needing money from you. Sounds like Game of Thrones. Yes, it says. Sometimes life is like Game of Thrones. They say that life isn't high school, but it's really just high school. And also Game of Thrones. My daddy just told me Superman fought the Hulk in the mid 70s, Chilton Tilly says, but took pity on him. So he just stood there and let the Hulk hit him until he passed out and changed back to human. LOL. What? That's hilarious. I would love to see that. I hope one day, like all of these big corporations can just work it out and then we can have DC and the Marvel universe meet. Because right now, I think obviously it's not going to happen unless they could figure out like the payment structure, the format, like who's going to do the directing, the hiring, like who's going to be acting, and future commissions and payments. Like all of that is going to be messy, but I hope they could figure it out and then we could have like, I think that would be crazy if the day that the DC universe mixes with the Marvel universe will be the day that I think maybe they can create a movie that the box office will be so bomb it will probably beat out the last Avengers movie, Infinity War, Endgame. I forget which one, but you know what I'm saying. Do walking live streams, Henry says, while on keto and get to 118 pounds. Yes, close enough. I want 118 to 119 pounds. I will do that once I have the space where I can walk and then like people don't know where I am because I don't want to be doing a live stream. People are like, "Hey, I know that house." Was rectified though. He's now credited since Batman versus Superman. Slane says. Wait, Wolverine is 5.35 is 5'3", but dude is 6'2", Ken Bussey says. Okay, did not know that. Again, I don't think it matters once you're like a superhero. Here, I'll ask you guys. I'll ask you if you are down to give up something you want physically. So the question is, that'll be my poll, and then I'm gonna peace out. I really want to watch Thor 2 and see what the heck it's about because I totally forgot. Would you take an unwanted physical form for powers? Superhero. Yes or no? Okay, so the question is, would you take an unwanted physical form for powers? Superhero. So the unwanted physical forms could be like, okay, if you want to lose weight, you end up actually gaining 20 pounds or 30 pounds. If you want to be tall, you actually end up becoming the height that you're afraid of, or whatever, or vice versa. If you want to be short, you're actually going to gain height. If you want to be fat, you're actually going to get skinny because everyone has very different things that they want in life. So that'll be the question. For me, it's a total yes. I'm down. I'm down to take way more weight gain if I could have Scarlet Witch's powers. It's totally worth it. Bardis says it could be any power you want from like a superhero. So literally anything. You could be like that girl from what is it? The X-Men universe. She can like, I love that power by the way. The blue chick that can just morph into anything. I forgot her name. I want to say Raven. Is it Raven? Superpowers with penalties. Well, in life you need to take some sacrifices. So yeah, my answer is yes. And honestly, I feel like all the things that we care about with like physical forms, like um all this like plastic surgery or losing weight, gaining weight, all these things, like it's mostly just in our own heads. Like I'm not above it, of course. Like I want to look the way that I want to look, even though I know it's like completely in my head and slightly crazy because what I viewed as beauty like constantly changes throughout like my lifetime growing up. And then when you look back at your younger selves, at least this is what I hear from people who are like 50 years old plus, they're all like, man, I looked so good when I was like 18 or like 20 years old. So I guess like all the little things that people pick on themselves when they're young, when you care about the way you look, it's like when you're old, you're just going to be happy that you were once like you looked like that. So we should all pat ourselves on the back for just looking good and not like super old now, unless you're already super old. Then I'm sorry, but you still look good when you were young, so you had your time. Yup, Mystic, not Raven. OG Crypto Daniel, I was wrong. Okay, name is Mystic. I don't know where I got Raven from. uh Raven J Law, Henry says. Selena Kyle is Catwoman. Oh, wow, you guys are all down. Yes, superpowers faux show. Again, I just want to be Scarlet Witch because I can make all of our crypto portfolios be in the green. But unfortunately, I am not. So good night, folks. I'm going to go and watch my Thor, the second one. Thank you all for joining me on another lovely live stream. Smash like button on the way out. Make sure you are subscribed. Wait, hold on. I didn't read Ken Bussy's Yug. I asked a hooker if she accepted Bitcoin. She told me no because it goes up and down more than she does. Ah, that was good. Can we bring in Dark Horse comics? Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, etc. You mean have Frankenstein go up against like Superman or something? I don't know. I don't know how much damage these guys would do, honestly. Maybe Dracula can do some damage. Yes, I would put my money on Invisible Man, Dracula. I don't know who Dark Horse is, but my money would be on Dracula and Invisible Man. Invisible Man can do a lot, but then there's invisible superheroes already. Don't stay up too late. I'll try not to. Her name is Raven. Her code name is Mystique. Oh, okay. Got it. So I wasn't wrong by saying it's Raven then. Memory, not so bad. Played by Rebecca Romaine from Full House. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good night. Yes, guys, honestly, take it real easy. Like, just as easy as can be. But a nice shower helps. Taking a shower and just forgetting it all, chilling in bed, having a nice cup of cocoa or milk, whatever also helps. Watching movies that you like, listening to relaxing music. Just don't haunt yourselves by constantly checking your portfolio because I've done it and it's not fun. It's nearly 8 a.m. where I am. Well, good morning and good night to the rest of you. They should make a Cyclock Marvel movie. I don't know who Cyclock is, but sure. They should make just Marvel movies of everything. I think there's if you guys want to see, I think I saw like a trailer. I didn't put the sound on though, so I have no idea what was going on. But Black Adam, played by Dwayne Johnson, the trailer came out recently, so you can go check that out. I'm definitely watching it, but I still didn't even finish Morbius, or I didn't even watch Morbius yet, so there's a lot. Take care, guys. Good night.